Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Camera 64 podcast. And I'm your host, Alfonso Chavez. And as always, we're coming to you from here in sunny San Antonio, Texas, from here in my garage. And this, my friends, is the Easter edition to the podcast. And today on the show, guys, we are going to talk about mini sessions. So I've been on Facebook here lately, and I see tons of postings about mini sessions. What exactly is a mini session? How are people charging for mini sessions, and what do I think about the mini session? Because I have lots of different thoughts and ideas about mini sessions. But before we get into that, I first want to start off by thanking everybody that watches my videos on a consistent basis. Without you guys, I would have no desire to actually record these videos, but because there are just a few, and I do mean a few viewers, I do like to jump on here from occasion to record a video. So if you could do me the great big favor, and if you do like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you make it all the way to the end, guys, if you could drop me a comment below, that would be amazing. Tell me what you thought about this video, or maybe if you have an idea or something that you would like to hear me talk about on the podcast, I'll be more than happy to address it, as I have done that in the past. I'll be more than happy to do that moving forward, guys. Yeah, give us a thumbs up. That's what we really need right now, is some more thumbs up, because I don't get very many. So I really appreciate those a lot. But let's talk about mini sessions, guys. Mini sessions. So I was on Facebook the other day, and we're only like maybe 2 or 3 days out of Easter. And Easter is a very big holiday. Many people will obviously take the time to get all dressed up and have their little Easter baskets and throw all kind of little picnics and get-togethers with family. And of course, there's Easter egg hunts, right? So everybody, for the most part, gets dressed up. They get family together, so everybody takes pictures. Well, along with that comes mini sessions, and also the idea of a quick session. Now, I have my thoughts about quick sessions. I personally do not ever, or I take that back, I have never advertised mini sessions for any amount of price, for any amount of time. But let's talk about some of the ones that I have seen, okay? So I've seen mini sessions posted for $50, 30 minutes, and like 10 pictures or something like that. That seems to be the really common thread. Real quick. But I don't know about that. And the biggest reason why I kind of have always steered away from mini sessions is the fact that 30 minutes to me is almost impossible. Like I don't think I could ever bring myself to doing a 30-minute session. Now, there are a few exceptions, and I have done sessions that have been 30 minutes or less. But that obviously it comes with some exceptions. So what are some of those exceptions? Some of the exceptions may be that it might be an actual model, because I have photographed many models over the years, and models come and they know exactly first of all, what they need. They come with me, on a mission. They want to get in, they want to get out. Models are serious. They are professionals, and they are professional at modeling, and they know exactly what they need for a very specific reason. So I can see the session like that could go, fairly quickly. But for the most part, right, most of the people, 90% of the people or more that we work with, on a regular basis, they don't get time in front of a camera. So it takes them a little bit of time to kind of get comfortable. And so the first 30 minutes of my sessions, which in general are between 2 hours to 2.5 hours, I think most people, when they go into that, are thinking, wow, that's a lot of time to be taking pictures. But once we actually get the session underway and they see that I'm working, especially if it's a young lady, let's say she's doing a quinceañera, she's actually up to this point never been photographed professionally outside of, say, a school setting. So it is a little bit different. She's in a beautiful dress. She's out in public. So there's people obviously looking. So all these factors are making her extremely uncomfortable. So it might take anywhere from 30 minutes to an entire hour before that young lady or bride to be is comfortable in front of the camera. And being comfortable in front of the camera is extremely important, guys. If that client is not comfortable in front of the camera, you're gonna get horrible pictures every single time. There's nothing to even debate about that. The pictures are just not gonna look great when they're uncomfortable. Period. You can see it on their face. 90% of communication out there in the world is nonverbal, right? It's nonverbal. So if somebody non-verbally is looking discomfortable or not comfortable, it's going to show up in the pictures. So this is why I just can't wrap my head around the idea of a 30-minute session, especially if it's somebody that I've never again worked with. That's the other caveat aside from being a professional model. I have clients that I have photographed for years and years and years. I just did Mia a couple of weeks ago, or last week. Yeah, it was last week. And I've been photographing her since she was 7 years old. She's been in front of my camera probably 20, 30 times already. So in that situation, she's extremely comfortable with me taking her pictures. So if it was her by herself, yeah, we could probably, get her in and get her out in probably 30 minutes or less. But if she brings her friends along, her friends are not going to have that same, same confidence that she has in front of the camera. So I have to take time to curate the fact that they may be uncomfortable, and I have to work with them and show them the ways and kind of get silly with them and do the different poses with them. And the reason we do that is just so that they can kind of relax, let up, let that natural smile, because that's really what we're after as a photographer. We're not so much about the perfect pose, but we're looking for the relaxed, comfortable smile. And it sometimes can be very hard to get there. Some girls are just, are really good at it, while others, it just takes time. So that's one of the reasons why I just don't even choose to use the term mini session for that reason. Reason number 2 is price wise. Now, if you've been doing photography for any amount of time, you know that a 30-minute session is not 30 minutes worth of work, guys. It might take you in my case, I live outside of the city. I actually don't live in San Antonio. I live in UC, which from my house to downtown is approximately 25 to 30 minutes. So if we're shooting at a location that is downtown somewhere, whether that be the Pearl, San Pedro Creek, or downtown San Antonio Riverwalk, it takes me 30 minutes to get there. And then it's going to take me 30 minutes at the session. Then it's going to take me another 30 minutes to get home. And then I still got to edit all those pictures. So I'm still going to spend a significant amount of time to do that session. So why am I going to devalue the session by calling it mini, right? If I call it a mini session, it's automatically assumed that you're going to charge a mini. You're going to charge a mini price tag, right? That's another reason why I just choose not to use the word mini session, because people automatically in their mind are going to think mini session, mini price. They associate the two things. But guess what? Even though, let's just say that you're able to do that session in 30 minutes, in my case, it takes me 30 minutes to get there, 30 minutes to shoot, 30 minutes to get home, and probably about an hour and 30 minutes to get the session done. Did I actually spend any less amount of time? And the answer is no. Okay, I did not. That mini session may take from beginning to end to final product in basically the same amount of time, because not only am I taking my time in a regular session, right? In a regular session to make sure that my exposures are correct, make sure my flash lighting is correct in camera. When I get home, it's a lot easier for me to actually edit those pictures. I'm just doing very minor tweaks versus, again, if I'm in that 30-minute session time, I feel rushed. We feel rushed, right? We're like, oh my gosh, they want to do this, they want to do that, they want to do this, they want to do that. We only have 30 minutes. And I promise you, I don't think that even people that do 30-minute sessions are actually getting done in 30 minutes. I wish I could just tail along with somebody just to find out exactly how much time does an actual 30-minute session. I'd be willing to bet that a 30-minute session ends up probably being about an hour. I'd be willing to bet a camera on that. That's how confident I am that a 30-minute session, I would say 98% of the time, is not a 30-minute session. So that's the other drawback with it, right? And what else with 30-minute sessions? What else do you think would probably be an issue with 30-minute sessions? So if you have a 30-minute session, let's say we're going to Breckenridge Park, right? And we set up a 30-minute session, and then we set up another 30-minute session, and then another 30-minute session. Well, if you've done any type of photography for any amount of time, you know that what? Clients never, and I mean ever, show up on time, guys. You could tell a client, this session is going to start at 5 o'clock and we want to be done by 7 o'clock. I can promise you probably 80% of the time, I like putting numbers on things, 80% of the time they're not going to be there right on time. They're going to be anywhere between 15 to 30 minutes late. So if you're setting up multiple sessions back to back to back, guess what? The person at the end is probably going to be starting an hour late, if not an hour and a half to 2 hours late. So you're making them wait at the cost of the person in front of you who did not value their time, or yours, by the way, because they wanted to show up when they wanted to show up. Not only that, but things happen, guys. I've had quinceañeras show up, not show up, but they actually will go to their makeup session and their hair session, and they leave and they're bawling, and mom's asking, well, what's going on, mija? And she says, Mom, I don't like my hair, I don't like my makeup, they did a horrible job. So they go home and they have to wash it all off, they have to wet down her hair, and mom ends up doing the daughter's hair and makeup again at home. That happens, guys. For my quinceañera shooters, yes, that absolutely will happen. It's happened to me several times where I've had young ladies show up either bawling or they ended up seeing their makeup and then they went home and did it again. So that's another drawback from mini sessions. I guess what I'm trying to say, guys, is mini sessions is not something that we should advertise. It's not something that we should price different from a regular session. So my senior sessions are $200. I know it's not a lot. I try to be fair with everybody. I think $200 for me is fair because that gives me 2 hours of actual shoot time. And so everybody's workflow is different. But for mine, I take those 2 hours, I come back, I download it onto my computer right here. And I personally use AI edits through Portrait Pro, and I just let them do a basic edit, and then I send them all the pictures that I shot. So if I shot a session with 150 pictures, I just do a quick AI edit, right? And I get it back to them and I let them know, hey, these are just quick edits. Nothing in here is final, but if you can select 20 pictures out of here, I will go through them with a fine-tooth comb and make sure that everything is perfect. And that system has worked very well for me because I can edit 20 pictures in probably under an hour, and they're exactly the pictures that they wanted and that they liked. So it works out great. I guess what it all boils down to, what I'm trying to really say is that if you're a new photographer, and I know that you get excited about wanting to offer mini sessions, hoping to meet a lot of people, in general, it genuinely does not work. It doesn't work for you. It's gonna make your life a lot more difficult than actually getting more clients. I would much rather shoot one person every Saturday and every Sunday. So that's 2 clients in a week. I would much rather shoot those 2 clients, okay? Spend a very good amount of time with them, get to know them, spend my time making sure that every shot that I took was correct to the best that I can in camera, and also creating a communication with them or an interaction with them that's gonna not only last for that session, but that hopefully that client's gonna continue to come back years and years and years, versus having 5 or 6 clients and I'm rushed, I'm underpaid, and chances are I'm never gonna see them again. You see what I'm headed for, guys? That's that's the logic that I have always taken on. Even from the very beginning, I took on this logic, and it seems to have worked well for me. Now I understand that it's 2026 right now, and people are tight with money right now. It's very difficult, even for myself. I'm pretty well known in the area, and I still am having issues getting people to hire us. Right? I do get the trickle, which are all my consistent clients that I've had for years, but most of my clients, all their children have grown up. They're all either getting married, or they are doing senior sessions, or they have already graduated from college. Some of them have graduated out and are starting to have children themselves. So at that point, hopefully we can go after them and have their children in our. So our goal is to have those clients, once they become old enough, is to have their children, and the cycle hopefully will continue on in a loop. And I've been fortunate that that's how it's been for me. Great, right? I have like maybe, I would say probably around 200 clients right now that are consistent. Like they continue to come to me every single year, whether it's family pictures, whether it's birthdays, whether it's anniversaries, and so on and so forth. You know, all the events that every family has. They don't mind spending $200 or $300 with me over and over again, which is fantastic, right? That's what we want. That's what we're after. And that is why I tell people to just steer clear of mini sessions. That's my professional opinion. You can take it for what you want, use it for however you want to use it, and take it however you want to take it, guys. But that's my thought about it. And that is my podcast for today, guys. Again, my name is Alfonso Chavez, and if you made it to the end, give me a thumbs up. But even more important than that, guys, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about the subject that I just talked about, or if there's something that you would like me to discuss here on the podcast, just let me know. Drop me a memo, and I'll be more than happy to go through it, guys. But again, this is Alfonso Chavez from camera64.com from here in San Antonio, Texas, from my garage. Until next time, guys, you take care, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.